Hi, I'm Ian.
I'm Deborah. Welcome to our home. Ian and I met in college. There was definitely a spark pretty early on, but for various reasons we didn't get together until a few years later. But I fell in love with him because he's a funny guy, he's sweet, sensitive, and really just a kind of person that lifts other people up.
I fell in love with Deborah because she's warm and compassionate, and she's always thinking of other people.
Our wedding had a few funny little glitches, but the biggest one, I'm Jewish, and one of the traditions is during the hora they come and lift you up on chairs, and they lift you pretty high. And some of the people that were doing it weren't as strong as they thought they were. And poor Ian's never been lifted up on a chair like that before. And he's holding on for dear life. And my mom grabbed a napkin for us to hold because I guess that was a tradition I hadn't remembered. But he didn't want to let go, so we ended up putting it in our mouth, and we had the greatest wedding picture ever. We have actually been on the road to parenthood for several years, and we had discussed adoption before we were married. Although we did try biologically for a while, it didn't work out, and we realized that we were being led back to adoption, and we're very excited to make that a part of our journey.
I have always felt like I would want to adopt. I think it's a great way to grow a family. I'm excited, looking forward to our kids.
We have lots of aunties and uncles and cousins who are just waiting for that moment to hold our baby.
We live in Longmont. We have been living here for the past 5 years.
We are in the process of building a new home, and we did that very much with a new child in mind. And we're also going to be very near to downtown Longmont, which has a lot of fun activities for kiddos.
Our new home will be closer to where I work, and so I'll be able to spend more time at home, more time with the children that we hope to have soon.
I grew up in the Chicago area. I have a mom, a stepmom, and a dad. So my stepmom came in about 8 years ago, and when we added her family, we added more people than I can count. I mean, I could count, but it would take a while.
I was an only child growing up, and so that was a positive experience in a lot of ways. I had a lot of attention from my parents. For our own family, we're hoping to have 2 children, not too large, but not too small either. I lived in a number of places growing up. We moved around every few years. I felt that was pretty disruptive to me, so my hope for my children is that we won't have to do that, that we'll have a stable home and a stable place.
We're very lucky in that we have an incredibly diverse family with lots of different traditions, both with adoptive family members and biological family members, different sexual orientations, different races. And I think that is really helpful in informing how we'll raise our children, because they'll get to see all the ways that people can come together and share traditions. I'm
a software engineer, which is a great way to support our family, and I really enjoy it because I enjoy working with logical systems.
I was working as a search engine optimization content writer. Generally that means I was in web marketing, but I really needed a little more independence and a little more space for creativity. So Ian and I sat down and talked about it, and I kind of said, well, where should I go from here? And he says, stay home and write your children's books, which I'm hoping to do. But I've also really been enjoying having the role of what we like to call Chief Household Officer. We are very balanced in that I tend to be a little more out there, and he tends to be a little more down to earth in a lot of ways. I have always been a very creative person. My mom put me in dance class at about age 5, and I am still dancing. But I've always loved dancing and singing and theater, and my parents always encouraged me in anything that I wanted to do.
In our spare time, I'm an avid board gamer. We'll frequently go out and go to game nights and game days with play all sorts of games with other people, and often Debbie and I will just have our own game days. It's also something we hope to introduce our children to someday.
The other thing that we sometimes like to go do when it's nice out is go hiking. We don't do it as much as we'd like to do it, but when we go, we have a good time. We enjoy travel as well. Well, we adopted Peaches in September of 2011, so almost 4 years ago.
When we went to adopt Peaches, I was a little nervous about getting a dog because I've never had a dog before, but she's been a wonderful source of companionship and friendship.
Been able to really train her, and she is amazing with children. And as you can see, she also is amazing with cats. Sushi the cat, who is Peaches' best friend, and obviously Peaches is her best friend. And I think that it'll be really good for a child to grow up with pets. I know it was very meaningful to me. We know the decision to place a child for adoption is a challenging one. And we also know that the emotions are difficult and we can never fully understand that. We also would like you to know that we are very grateful for your selfless, loving decision.
Thank you so much for watching our video.